Hello, family. This is your friend Kenisha. Welcome back to another episode of Transformation Tuesday. This is an opportunity where we get to talk about how can we change ourselves. And so our base word of transformation is transform. And we know that transform is to make a radical and thorough change and form, character, or appearance. And then when we look at that base word transform, we've broken it down to trans, which means taking real people and navigating towards success. And our form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. And so last week we talked about small up yourself. And that's a Jamaican proverb. And essentially, it's talking about making sure that we are a person that is operating with humility and that we're humble, which means we want to have a lack of arrogance. So for today, I want to look at this word hypocrisy. What does hypocrisy mean? Let me read the definition to you. It says this: it's the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform or its pretense. So as we're changing ourselves and we're being people of transformation, we do not want to operate with hypocrisy because that means we believe a certain way, but we do not act that way. So I remember this movie called Inside Job, and I believe it was directed by Spike Lee, and it came out years ago. And essentially, it's about Russell. He is a bank robber, and he goes in with this immaculate, well thought out plan to rob this bank. And so the character played by Denzel Washington, he is an NYPD hostage negotiator. So he's called in to try to negotiate to get the hostages out alive. So when the chairman of the board of directors and the founder of this bank found out that his bank was being robbed and there were plenty of hostages, what do you think he thought about? Not the people, not their money. What he did is he called in, this is the bank president, the bank owner, he called in someone called the fixer. And his number one and only concern as the leader of this bank was to find and secure his safety or safe deposit box. Why? Well, come to find out in the movie, they tell us that within that box, as the fixer goes in and tries to negotiate with Russell, who's robbing the bank, we find out that within that box contains some paperwork about unspecified work that this owner of this bank did with the Nazis. So we don't know what the work was, which led to many Jews being killed. So he did not want anybody to know that. So the fixer goes in with this, the bank robber trying to get it. He tells her no. Then Denzel Washington's character goes in. He's trying to negotiate because he's a man of character and he's wanting to help the people. So at the end of the story, or within the story, the fixer tries to negotiate hypocrisy to get this bad deal covered. So eventually the bank was robbed. So they thought. Russell leaves out, and then at the end, he gives Denzel the safe deposit box with essentially the war crimes that this bank owner had committed years ago. Talk about hypocrisy. Instead of the first thought being what's going on with my family or the families of the bank, it was himself. So here's our quick thought. We want to eradicate hypocrisy. Eradicate it. And from our book, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 by Dr. John Maxwell, just really quick on page 66, it says, the inner voice wants to make you bigger on the inside. The outer voice wants to make you bigger on the outside. The voice you listen to wins the battle. The voice you listen to wins the battle. So our final thought for the day, here's the question. How will you eradicate hypocrisy from your life? We do not want to live like the owner of that bank, thinking about ourselves instead of thinking about others. And we don't want to live a double life. This is your friend Kenisha. Love you. Have a great day.